Since Bootstrap 3 introduced themes, the web has glommed onto them like two halves of a peanut butter sandwich. Where there used to be only a couple of places to download free Bootstrap themes, now there are many, with more being created every day. Possibly the first of these is Bootswatch. All the themes on Bootswatch are free and give you access to download the CSS file, either minified or not, or less files if you use the less preprocessor. In your theme, you can include the styles in your main style.css style sheet or load the style sheet separately if you want to use those templates in your theme. They latch on to the existing Bootstrap classes, giving everything that is fundamental to Bootstrap a unique look that's somewhat less bootstrappy. If those are too limiting, commercial Bootstrap themes can be purchased at Wrap Bootstrap, usually ranging in price from $10 to $20. These might be a bit fancier than those offered at Bootswatch, with animations, custom styles, or other tricks. Black Tie is another site to find free Bootstrap themes. All themes are released under a Creative Commons 3.0 attribution license, which means you can use them for personal or commercial projects, but you would not be able to use them in a theme intended for distribution. There are other places to get Bootstrap themes too, like Bootstrap Master or even ThemeForest if you're willing to shell out a few bucks. Once you have a Bootstrap theme, what do you do with it? Do you just use it to create a theme by adding it to the style.css, or do you include it in the style sheet you're enqueuing? Well, those are definitely two options. I'm going to show you a couple different ways to use these themes yourself or provide them as options for your users. The first is with a plugin. There are two plugins that I recommend for adding custom CSS to your site, Jetpack and My Custom CSS. Jetpack is a bigger plugin that adds a lot of cool components that are found on WordPress.com to self-hosted WordPress sites. I recommend Jetpack for its CSS editor if you're already using Jetpack for its other features. It's a lot of stuff you probably don't need if you just want it for CSS. Jetpack's CSS editor supports preprocessors and multiple cursors, as well as syntax highlighting and auto-indexing, so it's a bit fancier than just a big text area for your CSS tweaks. My Custom CSS is just for custom CSS, and that's all it does. In both plugins, the CSS added in the editor is output in the head of the site, so it's not as efficient as a child theme or in queuing a new style sheet. This method is ideal for users who just want to spice up their theme very simply. To use Bootstrap themes in a CSS editor plugin, you'll need to copy the CSS rules from the style sheet and paste them into your CSS editor. Once that's done, you may find that there are a few things, depending on the Bootstrap theme and your theme framework, that you need to add or change rules for to get the look you're looking for. But for the most part, the experience will be pretty turnkey. Another option is creating a child theme. Child themes inherit all the functionality, templates, and styles of the parent theme while adding their own styles, functionality, or templates when present to replace those of the parent theme. In this case, if I wanted to create a child theme that uses a Bootstrap theme template, I'd download the CSS file, rename it to style.css, and add the required theme header to the style sheet, including the template and the import rule to pull in the style sheets of the parent theme, and then add any additional tweaks to the style sheet when I was done, if necessary, to make the Bootstrap theme really work in the child theme. This is more or less the same as using a plugin for the custom CSS, but the styles won't be dumped in your site's header. Some skins may use specific HTML components or JavaScript plugins, and using a child theme would be the best way to take advantage of these. There's one other option, and that's bundling them into your theme framework. This is a lot easier than it sounds. We've already added settings to the customizer. This would just be a matter of adding another one. It could be done in the theme framework or in a child theme, and it is just a matter of once again invoking the WP Customizer class in a function hooked to Customize register. First, I would need to create a function for the options. I'm going to create a drop-down menu that allows the user to select a custom skin to apply or use the default. Then, I need to download the skins somewhere. Naming them differently and adding them to the assets CSS directory makes the most sense. Once I have them and I've built my options, I need to add my new settings. I'm just going to add this to the existing colors section, and everything else is pretty much just repeating the same steps of the other drop-down controls that we looked at in Module 8. After I have the CSS files and I have my options, I'm going to the function I'm using to enqueue the scripts and styles. Like the fonts, I'm going to only enqueue them if the option is actually selected. Now in the Theme Customizer, I can simply select a skin from the drop-down menu and see it applied after the page refreshes. New skins can be added quickly and easily the same way, so that your base theme can have a ton of different possible looks that are as easy to apply and preview as simply selecting a value from a drop-down menu.